about my socks?
Alex flexing for the camera.
No, I don't do any of that.
Yeah. Back to our normal program. Alright, good morning everyone. We're back at it. We're gonna go start digging everything going this way. Start building up the wall more, basing out. But that'll be today, so just time lapse.
Now what's easier to find, you guys? A lawyer or a good contractor? Good contractors are almost impossible to come by because a good contractor is booked out. Lawyers, on the other hand, are like fleas on a dog's back. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm just saying they're everywhere. And even a bad lawyer still charges more than a good contractor. And why is that? You're a scarcity. If you're a good contractor, you're busy. And if you're a good contractor, it doesn't take very long for you to become busy. So is there this giant hole in the market for amazing contractors? Absolutely. But we don't charge the same as other people in other industries. And why do you think that is? Well, we're going to talk about that in just a minute.
Alright, so we were digging along for our trench.
Hey, Tim.
And then we hit this. Yes, not knowing it was here. So now we gotta wait for the maintenance guy to come out and tell us if it's live or dead. And then we can keep going.
The biggest mistake I see contractors making is this mind frame that I'm gonna let my work speak for me. No! Let you speak for you. Learn to negotiate. Instead of diving into your craft, which is what you probably want to do, take a portion of that time and learn how to negotiate so that you can speak fluently and elegantly and easily with your customers. Let them know the value that you bring. Don't just show it in your work, because a lot of times your work is like bread and wine. And let me say it this way. In your mind, as a contractor, you do an amazing project. You lay something out there and you know every detail you put into it, all your blood, sweat, and tears that you put into that thing, you know, because you did it. You realize the sacrifice you made. That creates your project as wine in your head, meaning that it becomes more valuable over the course of time because you know everything that it took to do this. But to a customer, it becomes bread. Instead of becoming more valuable over time, it stales. It becomes less valuable because they don't know what you poured into it. They don't know the details you put into it. And then that initial feeling that they had when they first seen it starts to wear off. Now in your head, it doesn't ever wear off because you know everything that it took to achieve that. But in the customer's head, it kind of starts to not be as valuable, not be as valuable, not be as valuable. So your work can't speak for yourself because your work doesn't know how to negotiate everything that it takes for you as a craftsman that pours your heart into your work to bring to the customer. That's where taking a little bit of time and learning how to speak, use your mouth. Now here's a couple resources that I'm going to tell you to do. Toastmasters. I did Toastmasters for 4, 5, 6 years. And I'll tell you, Toastmasters only costs like $45 a year. Oh, it helps you stand up and be able to speak. And your mouth is going to make you more money than your back is ever going to make you. Your brain is going to make you more money than your hands are ever going to make you. So pour a little bit of time into that. Become great. Become a craftsman. Become the absolute best you possibly can at the thing that you're selling to the market. But also, become pretty dang good at negotiating so that you can get your personal value for all of the effort you put into it.
Live action rolling. All right, it's starting to rain. We're getting this tarped up. Got everything else sealed up and buttoned up. So we're gonna get this packed up before we get rained completely out. All right, good morning everybody. We're back for day 3. Yeah, we're gonna dig this out and keep going that direction and hopefully get up to there by the end of the week. And we can, yeah, that's what we're gonna start with today. And then we're gonna just keep working, filling this in and grade this out. All right, she working.
Flexing right now?
Alex flexing for the camera.
No, I don't do any of that.
Throwing in our last piece of 7-foot grid.
Last piece of grid. Almost wrapped up with this wall here.
Everything else is done to this point, and we're gonna keep going that direction. Timmy went a little ballistic on socks the other week. Your socks.
What about my socks? That's what he's doing. He's putting you on blast. What about my socks?
That you gave up the 4th of July to put socks around our site?
Give it up? 2 inches of rain coming all at once. I gave up my 4th of July so we wouldn't have to shovel mud out of a retention pond or whatever. So yeah,
we got 2 inches of rain on multiple occasions out here, never shoveled one side of there.
not all at once.
It was all at once, a few times out here.
Did we have this much tore open?
Yes. More conditions that were worse than this.
All right, so I got the impact and whatnot. I'm gonna change out this cutting edge, flip around this cutting edge because we're gone on either end of the bucket. So I'm gonna attempt to pop these free. Hopefully they're gonna come free, and change and flip it around so that way we don't eat into the bucket. This may not look like much right now, but it'll eventually wear itself down and into place. I guess that's how all cutting edges are, but back to our normal program.
You know what I've never done? I've never woke up and say, oh, I just want to go out and hire an attorney today. Oh, I just want to get up and go to the doctor for absolutely no reason whatsoever. You just don't do that. But people do want to see contractors. They do want a new deck. They do want new windows. They do want new siding. They do want a pond installed. They do want a patio put in. They do. You, my friend, are like freaking Santa Claus. When you show up to the site, people are excited because you're going to do something that they want, not something they need, not something that has to be done. Well, maybe sometimes it has to be done, but it's something that they are actually excited about.
No wonder the tool cat couldn't lift it.
Alright, watch yourself, Zach.
Yep.
Set it down.
Guys might need to repave the track.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't think the tool cat was going to be not.
No, I didn't think they were that big.
He had to hold back, what, a 3-foot fence?
Yeah, that's amazing how they anchored that was in there.
Oh yeah, it's like you weren't pulling that out with anything. Maybe if you could have brought that whole skid up here and pulled it out, maybe.
I don't even think that would have done it. The leverage you need to get it, something like that.
Oh yeah.
No way.
So why is that important? Because they're already excited that you're there, and that is so awesome. We contractors, that's a blessing. But Maya Angelou actually said it best. She said that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. So what's the relevance to that? Well, it ties back to when we were talking about having your work speak for itself. Your work is only one tiny facet, and your work does need to be outstanding. And I don't disagree with that in any way, shape, or form. But your interaction with the customer is really what they're going to remember from that point forward. As long as your work is good, they'll never forget your interaction with them. That's what you want. Think of it this way. Even if you're just an average contractor, you don't have to be the very best in the world, okay? And everybody, you will get there if you keep perfecting your craft. But let's say you're not there yet. How do you get by? Well, one of the keys that we do in our company was to interact with the customer for 20 minutes a day. In another one of these retaining wall videos, I talked about the 20-minute rule for problem solving. Anytime one of my guys had a problem, I say I will call them back in 20 minutes. That's just too long for them to sit around and do nothing. Well, the 20-minute rule also applies to your customer. I would highly motivate my guys to interact with the customer for 20 minutes a day. Not about the job. You start out about the job, but then ask them about their kids' baseball game or how their grandkids are doing in high school or anything that they care about. Because think of it this way. If your kids, let's just say you have kids, if one of your kids does a project for you, bakes you a cake, I'm pulling this out of thin air. He bakes you a cake and he hands it to you. And maybe it's a little too burnt. And maybe the frosting isn't spread evenly. Are you gonna look at that kid and criticize him? Or are you gonna bite into that cake and be happy, right? Because you love that kid, or you don't want to dash that kid's dreams or hopes. But if it was a chef at a restaurant, you're going to critique him. If it's a chef you've never seen and they just deliver you this overburnt, not frosting, evenly spread cake, you're going to criticize them. But if you know that chef, you're going to go a lot easier. And what I'm saying is get to know your customers. That's a really long way of saying this. Just get to know your customers. And then even average work becomes exceptional work because of how you make your customers feel. That is the most important thing you can do. It's more important than your work. It's more important than your work. How you make the customers feel is the absolute most important thing you can leave on your job site. So make sure that you try to leave a good impression, because that's what they will remember from that point forward. And that's where your recommendations will come from for years down the road. That's where your reputation will come from for years down the road. See how important that is? And you can make a customer feel good right away. That doesn't require a whole lot of skill. It just requires you to actually care about what you're doing and let them know you care about it. Well, that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching us work on this big school retaining wall. We're not done yet, and this is all new content. Some of you guys are like, oh, you recycled this content. No, we didn't recycle it. This is just a different portion of the same project. This project is huge, and we're not done yet. We've got more. We're wrapping around the corner. We're going up into the playground. We're doing this, we're doing that, but we've got other projects coming down the pipeline and more equipment reviews, and I hope you guys enjoy videos like this, because it takes my whole team a lot of effort to put this together. It takes Zach out in the field, it takes the boys, Alex, Tim, Sam, putting up with the camera and helping figure things out and making that all roll. Then there's Danny in the office who helps me edit these things, and then I take everything and put it all together and wrap it up in a nice tidy bow and hand it to you and don't charge you a dime and hope that you get something out of it. That's it for this video. God bless. Go get them. Enjoy your time, people.
Alright, so we're wrapped up for the day. Got the wall built from basically right where all the stuff is here, all the way down. where all the equipment is, and our starting of our radius into the new wall, our old wall here that we got to tear out. And then you don't have to tarp or anything. We just had to put some socks out, but just in case if it drizzles. But 13% chance, but who knows. But we're good. We don't got to tarp anything. Everything's put away. We're all burnt. We gotta get out of here.